You want to be able to do a pull-up, but you can't even dangle from the bar for 3 seconds yet. Keep watching if that sounds like you. I'm going to give you all the regressions to get you to that one pull-up. And perhaps at the moment all you're doing is banded pull-ups and you're just not finding that you're getting anywhere closer to the pull-up, then I'm going to give you exercises that are way better than that banded pull-up exercise and are actually going to build the strength to get you doing that pull-up. So first off, let's break the pull-up down. First point, we need that scapular strength to be able to bring our shoulders away from our ears. The next thing is that we need the core strength to be able to keep tucking our tailbone and bringing our feet in front slightly, keeping this kind of dish-like position. And then third point, we need to put all of that together to be able to pull ourselves all the way up. So the first exercise I want you to focus on is that dish-like position that I just showed you in that pull-up. We need to have the strength to be able to hold that. So what I want you to do is come lie down on the floor, legs out straight, arms above your head. Now from here, I want you to imagine you're keeping like a dish-like position. So you're tucking your tailbone, you're squeezing your glutes, you're keeping your arms in line with your ears, and then you're going to lift your legs off the floor. Can you hold this for 30 seconds? This is the goal. If you can't, then we're going to regress it. So level 1 is, can you just hold your chest off the floor while keeping your arms in line with your ears? Level 2, can you lift that leg up and do it at the same time? And then level 3 will be both feet off the floor. Your goal is to try and get to level 3 and hold it for at least 30 seconds. What you can do while you're training is do one leg at a time, maybe hold it for 10, then swap, hold it for 10, or just hold it like this to start with and then add the legs. So the second part of the pull-up was being able to bring our shoulders away from our ears so we can engage those lats instead of using all traps. A good exercise to do is to gain control of our scapula, is to bring our hands out in front. You're first off going to bring your shoulders away from you. So this is called protracting. You're then going to elevate your shoulders up. You're going to retract them back. You're going to depress them down. So it's kind of like a circular motion that you're doing with your shoulders and your scapula. Getting used to how to move your scapula is really important for that second part of the pull-up. We go from an elevated shoulder to a depressed shoulder. So knowing how to do that is the second part of the pull-up. So one of my favorite exercises to do is called negative pull-ups. Now, if you can't even dangle for 3 seconds, then this one is impossible. Now, the reason negative pull-ups is probably one of the best exercises you can do to achieve a pull-up is because the hardest part of a pull-up is the part when you're here to here. So the start of that pull-up is the hardest part. So when we do things like banded pull-ups, we don't actually work the hardest part. That bit when we do a banded pull-up is easy. So the negative pull-ups is the only exercise that really gets you working the hardest part of the pull-up. That's why you need to make sure you're having negative pull-ups in your plan when trying to achieve a pull-up. So if you can't actually dangle, what are you going to do? The next one I'm going to show you is called assisted negative pull-ups. So it takes the whole hanging element away from it, but you're still working that strength, which we want to be working, that hardest part of the pull-up, that beginning part of the pull-up that we want to put some tension through. This is the exercise to do. So first off, you want the bar, the height, where when you're gripping hold of it, you want to be able to come into a dead hang position. So a dead hang is when your head is in your shoulders and your shoulders are by your ears. Now you're going to start off with your legs bent, your head over the bar, like you're finishing a pull-up. And you're just going to go down really slowly, and you can build the intensity. So you can put as much weight into your arms and your back as you can, or you could take it off by putting it into your legs. And you're going to aim to go down for 10 seconds, really, really slowly. And when we get to that last bit, you know, the hardest bit that I was talking to you about, the bit when you get to here, all the way down, I want you to really focus on that bit and put as much tension as you can, all the way down, slowly, 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 and then you're going to finish off in that dead hang position. Aim for anywhere between 5 to 10 seconds to start off, but your aim is 10 seconds going all the way down. And then perhaps do 4 to 6 reps on that, and then around 2 to 3 sets. And I know I was slagging the banded pull-up off, but it's still a great exercise. It's just, if all you do is banded pull-ups, then you're never going to build that strength that you need for the pull-up. So banded pull-ups are a great exercise to build confidence in yourself, being able to get your head over that bar. It's also great to build volume as well. You can get a lot more reps out on the banded pull-ups. So having the volume in that move is also crucial to be able to get that 1 rep that we all want. So the next exercise that I think you must do if you want to get that first pull-up is the inverted row. So this is a great one, again, to build that strength that we need for the pull-up. And it's an entry-level move, so most people can do this. And you can also increase the intensity by moving the barbell down. So starting off, if you obviously haven't got that strength yet, then you want to start with the bar fairly high. So a good point is about chest height to start with. Then all you're going to do is just lean back, bring your toes up to the sky, come up onto your heels. Then you're going to bring your chest to the bar, touch, and I want you to think about controlling yourself on the way down. You're going to do 12 reps. Once you've done 3 sets of 12 and you find that fairly easy, then you can look about increasing the intensity. And you'll do that by moving the bar down. Now the bar's lower, this is going to be a lot harder for me. So you're going to get right under the bar, again, up on your heels, toes to the sky. And now we're going to get our chest to the bar. This is a lot more weight now in my arms and my back. Once you can do about 8 to 12 of these, and you find that easy, then you can just keep going lower and lower. And this is a really good one to keep track of, because usually they have numbers on the holes, so you can just get each week, just note what number hole you did, and then you can just keep going lower and lower. And when you've got about this height or lower, then you're at a fairly good point in your strength, and that's where the pull-up perhaps is going to be a lot closer in your journey. And even though you can't dangle for 3 seconds yet, I want you to dangle every week. I want you to dead hang as long as you can. So say, for an example, you dead hang for 2 seconds. The second week, you're then going to do 2 sets of 2 seconds. Each week then, you're going to add a set. So the third week, you're going to be doing 3 sets of 2 seconds. And then the fourth week, you're going to be doing 4 sets of 2 seconds. So each week, we are building that volume of how long you're hanging. And if you get to about 25 seconds on a dead hang, you're really close to getting that pull-up. And then the last important point is just choosing exercises that's going to help you with your pull-up, and making sure that you do high volume in stuff like bent over rows, lat pull downs, seated rows. These are all going to help with your strength, so you can be able to do that 1 pull-up. And if you enjoy doing pull-ups, then perhaps you'll enjoy learning the press-up too.